Okay, so today's experiment is going to be the recrystallization of urea. So to start with, we have our personal protective equipment, which should include a pair of goggles and gloves. We're dealing with urea and ethanol as a solvent, so appropriate precautions are required. The list of needed equipment to start: you need a Erlenmeyer flask, you need measuring cylinders, you will need a Buchner or Hirsch funnel, you will need a Buchner or filter flask, okay, Buchner flask. You will need the appropriate sized filter paper to mat your Buchner funnel. You'll also need a hot plate, stirring rod. You may need hot plate and stirring rod. Okay, you may need some charcoal if your sample is decolored, and you'll need a normal filter funnel and some cotton in order to filter off your charcoal if needed. So as per our experiment, we will begin by dissolving our urea, approximately 2 grams of urea, which I've already weighed and recorded to at least 2 decimal places the accurate weight. So I'm going to put the urea into my conical flask, and I'm going to add 30 mils, or just about 30 mils of ethanol. 30 mils of ethanol is added, and I will gently swirl to see if we get some dissolution. Okay. The urea is obviously sparingly soluble in ethanol, which makes it an excellent solvent for recrystallization. And this is, as you'll see in your notes, one of the properties of a solvent that we would use for recrystallization. The substance needs to be partially soluble or sparingly soluble. So as for instructions, if it doesn't dissolve, what we'll do is, using a hot plate and a stirring rod, we will gently stir while heating. Now note, we do not want to boil. If you end up having to boil this, we will want to add some boiling chips. So at this point, we just want to gently heat to get our urea crystals to dissolve. So gently heat with stirring. Another way to enable the dissolution process is to generally crush your urea crystals to make them smaller, increase the surface area, allowing them to dissolve a little bit faster with your glass stirring rod. Okay, we're just going to let this sit and heat for a few minutes, and then we will continue with the experiment.